The question is, the bill be read a second time. I call the member for Ryde.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I rise just to make a very brief contribution on the bill and to, of course, support the member for Kiama. The member for Kiama brought a motion to this place a number of months ago, and I had the privilege of speaking on it and drawing off some reflections from a similar story in my own electorate, where the government, as part of their efforts to look at everything, wouldn't take off the table the proposed development of a mental health hospital in my own electorate. And so I found that very concerning and wanted to come and speak on the motion. In fact, the David Berry Hospital story extends so far that I was in a line waiting to vote at pre-poll in the local government election when I had a constituent of mine come up to me, thanked me for having spoken on that motion, and said how good it was that the opposition had done so much work to stand up for the David Berry Hospital. So I think that this is something that extends well beyond the South Coast region, and is why I want to speak on it today. But I can't think of anything more important or more that can provide more clarity to an issue than to pass a piece of legislation that would protect something from a future sale. And that's why I support this particular bill from the member for Kiama. And I hear the government repeat themselves over and over again, speaking about how they've given commitments, how they've said they're not going to sell it, they're not going to develop it. Then the simple question, Mr. Speaker, is why? Why on earth would you not support this bill, which seeks to do nothing other than to put that in legislation, to make that point exceptionally and abundantly clear? I think that is the clearest thing that you can do. And I note the interjection about consulting with the community. And again, it sounds as though the government has predetermined the outcome. They want to say that they're going to save it, but then they want to go through the consultation. So by that own logic, why would you not support the legislation that's going to provide the very safety and protection of the asset that the people quite clearly want? Now, when I say that, it was very clear that the people clearly want this outcome. That entire gallery up here was filled to the brim of people who had made the trip, a long trip I might add, into Sydney to support the member for Kiama and the members that stood up in support of that motion. So I think if the government wanted to take some of their own advice when it came to listening to residents, listen to the people who turned up, listen to those who have supported the motions that have been moved in this place, and do the very simple thing and support a piece of legislation that, above all, is the clearest indication that this Parliament can give, the clearest indication that this government can give, and the clearest indication that the minister can give that they do not want to sell or develop the David Berry Hospital. That is what people want. That is what people across most electorates want, including in my electorate of Ryde. And again, I want to make the point that had we been able to give that clarity to my community just over a year ago, we wouldn't have had the debate and the furore that we did when they wanted to put the Macquarie Mental Health Hospital under the hammer for the latest development application that the minister, who I know is here, was so eager to push through. So I'm very happy to support the member for Kiama. I'm very happy to support this bill, and I'd encourage all members, give the clarity that the people want, protect the asset, and support this bill.
Very well done.